Hi, everybody. Welcome inside another edition of Knicks and Six. I am Rebecca Haarlow alongside Pidto, and it is very fitting, that there are 6 games left on the schedule for the Knicks. So quickly, Miami at home, at Cleveland, Washington, at Indiana, at New Orleans versus Indiana. The Knicks have some work to do down the stretch. But of those 6 games, which one are you most fired up about?
Well, the next game against Miami, we are all juiced for that one. Right now, the Knicks need a win, and they'll win the season series over the Heat 3-1, which would give the Knicks the tiebreaker. If Miami wins, however, and the season series ends 2 games apiece, then Miami is going to get the tiebreaker because Miami is a virtual lock to win their division, and that is tiebreaker number 2. So this game is critical. Critical because at stake here is likely the 5th or 6th spot in the conference. And we all know how important that might be in determining the Knicks' first-round playoff opponent. So suffice it to say, Rebecca, the game against Miami is important.
It is heating up down the stretch. But I want to point this out. Going into that Miami game, Miami is going to be on the second night of a back-to-back. So that is huge for the Knicks. They've got to beat Toronto or get through Toronto before they play the Knicks. And so that's a big deal that the Knicks are going to be coming off of rest. And also, don't forget, they also had that 3 full days of rest before the Orlando game. And so talking to the players, they tell me that it was a chance to kind of catch their breath and catch up on sleep and just relax. And Emmanuel quickly said it was an opportunity to watch the NCAA tournament and just get away from the game for a hot second. So I think coming off of that losing streak for the Knicks, they're in a really good spot after a commanding performance over Houston.
And we'll see about Jalen Brunson for the Heat. But you mentioned Emmanuel quickly. My goodness. 40 points, 14 out of 17 from the floor. Rebecca, as a starter, he's almost started a quarter of the games. He's got 17 starts. And in those 17 starts, he's averaging 21 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He was fantastic against the Rockets.
He was absolutely incredible. And I think that you hit the nail on the head in terms of pointing out how efficient he was. He was 14 of 17 field goal percentage. I mean, that's insane. In addition to 9 assists, he was running the offense so well. And then at the end of the day, the Knicks just went by the way that he went. They had 35 assists, which was a season high number of assists for them. And I think it is so crucial that Quickly is really hitting his stride and controlling these games with the way that he's doing as the Knicks are heading into the playoffs. Because if you've got Jalen Brunson starting these games and you have a guy who plays like a bona fide starter coming off of the bench, that depth is going to be massive for this Knicks squad going into the playoffs, especially if they end up playing Cleveland, because when you check out Cleveland's backcourt, they're so talented. So to be able to have players that can come in waves at you in a series like that is going to be so huge.
And obviously this was a critical win against the Rockets because the Knicks had lost 3 games in a row. Julius Randle had gone 3 straight games with a technical. All the credit in the world for Randle for bouncing back against the Rockets with 26. RJ Barrett had 19. It was a total team effort, and they really needed a total team effort. And Tom Thibodeau, Rebecca, you follow him closely. One of the comments that he always makes, which we're still trying to figure out, winning is more fun than fun is fun. Do you have any idea? Well, he always says that. Bottom line is he loves to win. But we were trying to figure that out. I always try to figure out what that means. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, actually, that's hilarious. I'm going to show you my cheat sheet right here. I also have winning is way more fun than fun is fun. These are my game notes from last night. I had to write that down because I thought.
What does that mean?
Awesome. I mean, I think that means that fun is fun, right? So, if you and I were to go out to dinner, have a burger, drink a beer, that's fun, right? But it's not as much fun as winning.
I think having a beer and dinner with you would be more fun than. I'm kidding. I understand. I just love when he says that, though, because it just shows how geared he is into winning games and coaching the Knicks. I get such a kick out of that statement.
And you know what? I want to point out something else. You talked about Julius Randle, that he had a great bounce back game. And I agree with you. I think it's really special that You know, he is one of a handful of players left who has started every single game this entire season. I mean, his minutes are off the charts. And one thing that he told me last week in Miami that really stuck with me was that he takes a lot of pride in the fact that he's been able to play every game because he knows the work that he's had to put into his body to get to that place. But he told me what he's most proud of is that night in and night out, his teammates can count on him. They can rely on him to bring that tough game of basketball. And I think that that's huge, that Randall has been such a workhorse for this team. But, you know, somebody else who I think that deserves a lot of credit as of late is Josh Hart. When you look at that Houston game, Pidto, I mean, you only had 9 points, right? So in your mind, if you're watching the game, his game doesn't necessarily like jump off the stat sheet. Then check this out. Dude was 4 for 4, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 block shots. He literally is involved in every single play. I swear half the time I'm watching him play, it feels like there are 6 dudes on the court because somehow this guy is everywhere all the time. And when you have a guy playing with that much effort and is constantly looking to make his team better, but not necessarily to shoot, that is a good guy to have on your team.
He surely fills up the box score. The Knicks filled up the box score, all of them against the Rockets. Hopefully they can keep it going. The stretch is here. Thank you everybody for checking us out here on Knicks and 6. We'll see you next time.